Hey guys, and welcome to another YouTube video of us. Today we will talk about a very important topic which a lot of beginners on their mobility journey neglect and overlook when it comes to mobility training.
So the question that we want to answer today is a movement itself or training the prerequisites more important, or which one should you train more often, which one comes first, and so on. So we will start by looking at a squat. And let's pretend we want to train a squat because we can't squat past 90 degrees. We feel restricted in that movement.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's just pretend he can't squat further down or lower, because he would either fall back or he's just not able to go lower. So is it now more important that you can conduct?
Yeah.
Is it now more important that he trains the squat or that he trains the prerequisites? And it's obviously important that he trains the prerequisites first. But when you have the prerequisites, I mean, the squat will improve automatically because he has the range of motion, or he's worked for that range of motion to get into a deeper squat. But you still need to spend time in the squat for your central nervous system to adapt to that position, and for the mind-muscle connection. So you need to go in and out of the squat. You need to spend time in the squat to actually improve your squat even further.
Yes. So she already mentioned it, but if you're a beginner and start to increase your mobility or start your flexibility journey, but also for people that currently are training mobility, it's also a very, very important topic to really get it in your head that it's not only about training the prerequisites. If you look up a YouTube video or see a guy that teaches the squat, for example, and says, hey, do dorsiflexion, do hip internal rotation because it's part of the squat. Do not only train isolated.
Yeah.
So this is a little bit of a pickup of our last video. Not only train isolated, but compare it with the movement and with the exercise itself, and
train the actual movement.
Train the actual movement.
I think it's still important that you get the prerequisites, that you have them before jumping into the movement itself. So you still need to be able, especially in a squat, you can't just force yourself in the squat, otherwise you will be risking injuries, you're risking compensation.
Especially with weight,
that you don't want to have. But once you've trained the prerequisites and you feel like you've improved a lot, you still need to incorporate that movement.
Yes.
So both are equally important. One comes before the other, obviously. But still, mobility training and training prerequisites, you do that because you want to be able to do a squat. You do that because you want to get better at, or increase your range of motion, decrease your risk of injury, and therefore it's not enough to only do the mobility training, but to actually spend time in the squat itself. Either in your training or even in your mobility training, you incorporate the squat itself as a mobility drill.
Yeah. So obviously this applies to all skills or poses when it comes to mobility or flexibility training. Let's look at the middle split, for example. We have a very, very informative middle split tutorial already on our channel, which we'll now pick up a little bit on. So Leslie's going to demonstrate hip abduction lifts, for example, which are great for improving abductors strength, obviously. So she's now in a modified Cossack here, which is already shown in the middle split video. Now let's just do 2 or 3 lifts here. So really take a deep breath here, engage your core, and then really strictly with a straight and locked knee, straight leg, lift up. Awesome. Make sure you're not leaning to the side. Awesome. That's a pretty good exercise for a middle split, right? So let's do just another one, for example, the frog position. Frog position is also great to really get deeper, to open up your hips and get deeper and really stretch, elongate your adductors, while also strengthening it with the isometric contractions of the pales and the rails. So let's pretend she's already in the stretch for 2 minutes now. And then we apply the isometrics. The pales would be thinking of sliding both knees and legs together, so pushing both knees and ankles in the ground as hard as you can. And rails would be engaging your glutes, trying to think of lifting both knees up to the ceiling. This would be great to improve your middle split. But most of the time, beginners or also people who are already quite far in their mobility journey neglect this specific topic we just talked about. They're not spending time in the position they want to get better or in the movement they want to get better in. That's what we're trying to say and give you here on your way onto the mobility training, which is very, very important, that you are spending time in the splits, for example. That's very important.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, as we said earlier, both are important. You can get better by only doing the split. You can get better by only doing the squat. But you presumably only work on your passive range of motion, but you still don't have like the active control. And this way you can work on both. You can work on your active control, on your strength and increasing your range of motion. And you can work on the movement itself or the position itself to convince your central nervous system that the position actually is safe for you, not only from the isolated training like dorsiflexion, abduction, but because you've spent time in the position itself.
Yes, great. So I hope that was helpful for you. This is under the top 3 of the common mistakes of not only beginners but also people who are already quite far on their journey, on their mobility journey. If you liked it, please leave us a like or subscribe to our channel for more mobility training information. If you really want help on your mobility journey and you're not sure how to structure it, how to program it, which exercises are actually good for you, or you want a proper mobility assessment, then click the link down in the description below. Book your free call with one of us and we're happy to help you and to hear you out. So see you guys in the next YouTube video.